Setsumetsu Evolution.
Hey guys, welcome back to T Fighters channel. I'm Azharu, and today, for this video, I'll be covering about Revenger Raging Form Dragon and supports, and also the Gravidia right line. So from the recent stream, we saw Revenger Raging Form Dragon and the Gravidia right line. So for some of you, you guys already know what it is, but I'll be covering some of the details about them. Alright, let's move on to the V collection card. Alright, for the V collection card, the last V collection card among all of the 24 will be the most badass card, one of the most badass card, if not the most badass card in V collection 2, Revenger Raging Form Dragon. Alright, so Revenger Raging Form Dragon has returned and I really love it. I wish I could show you guys this my favorite scene, but I don't want to get copyright strike. Yeah, but yeah, Revenger Raging Form Dragon ability is on plays on Vanguard Circle. If you have 4 or more cards in your damage zone, counter +1. If you do, you search your deck for up to 1 Revenger grade 2 and call it to Vanguard Circle. Alright, so basically it has an on plays on Vanguard Circle. Okay, and it's a limit break effect. So it reminds me of Warden Phantom previous break right ability. Then his second ability, at the end of the battle that this unit attack, retire 3 rear guards and you choose one of the cards in your hand, a Revenger grade in your hand, and ride it to Vanguard Circle. Hi. So the current Revenger Raging Form Dragon is actually the fusion of the previous break right Warden Phantom and also the previous Raging Form Dragon, but this time his restand ability does not have limit break condition. Yeah, but then the one that you calls grade 2 from the deck is actually limit break condition, which is having 4 damage. Honestly speaking, this is a strong card, especially when you're at 4 damage. The reason why they make it at 4 damage restriction because the combo with Raging Form Dragon alone is you will restand twice with Raging Form Dragon if his first ability does not have 4 damage restriction. So in your first turn, you're most probably at less than 4 damage, so that will restrict Raging Form Dragon full power. So the full combo for Raging Form Dragon, if you're at 4 damage, so first of all, you attack with your rear guard. You have full field. I leave this to your imagination. You have full field. Then when you attack with your rear guard, then your Vanguard attacks. You retire 3 rear guard and rewrite to Raging Form Dragon. Then since you have 4 or more damage, you counter +1, you search for a grade 2 from deck and call it to rear guard circle. Then your rear guards attack again and you use Raging Form's ability because you already have 3 rear guards. Then using Raging Form first ability again, search for another card and call it, and you have another attack. So that's like a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. So it will be at a total of 7 attacks maximum with Revenger Raging Form Dragon itself. But then if you play with Mordred, for me it's a clunky play when you play with Mordred Phantom. So it's like you have a full field, but your front row gonna be Blaster Dark. So you attack with Vanguard first, then you retire the back row, then right to Mordred Phantom, then Blaster Dark attack, Vanguard attack, then restand the Blaster Dark and attack. So for me, I don't really like if you're comboing the V Raging with V Mordred, but that is the only backup if you want to rewrite to another card if you don't have a Raging Form Dragon in hand. So for me, it's actually a strong card, even though it has the 4 damage restriction, but yes, I believe it will be one of the high tier but not the top tier in the current V set. Hi. Alright, I'm talking about the grade 3 first. Apologies for that. But I'm so excited to tell you about the Raging Foam Dragon. Right now, I'll be moving to the grade 2, which is Tartu. Alright, Tartu's ability, when placed from hand to rearguard circle, cost counter +1, search your deck for up to 1 Revenger, grade 1 or lower, and call it to rearguard circle. For me, I understand. Oh wait, it's not counter +1, it's soul +1. For me, I understand the fact that Tartu is restricted from hand, because if it's not restricted from hand, Raging Foam Dragon will be more broken if you have multiple copies of Revenger Raging Foam Dragon in hand. It's quite understandable why Tartu is only restricted from hand. Otherwise, Raging Foam Dragon will be broken. Yes. Now, moving on to the next card. The last big collection card that I will mention on today's video will be Rinnal, the great one for Revenger. So, what does he do? His first ability is, when this unit boosts or attack hits a Vanguard, you look at the top 3 cards for up to 1 card with Revenger in its card name and reveal it, add it to your hand, and put the rest of the cards to the bottom of the deck. Any arrangement. Then the second ability, when this card is retired from rearguard circle by your card effect, Soul +1, you retire one of your opponent's rearguard. For me, this is actually a very strong card. Like, yo, you use this card for the cost of Raging Foam Dragon, and at the same time you just kill your opponent rearguard. So it's like a total effect of a free restand and a free retire. Alright, that's actually, for me, it's great, just great. Like, you literally do a lot of advantage with Raging Foam's ability. Yeah, pretty much from what you see on the 3 cards that we have, all of them are Revenger based cards, so you're most probably gonna play an almost full Revenger deck. Otherwise, it's a full Revenger deck. You're not gonna mix any cards. Well, except the Blasted Dart. Yeah, obviously the Blasted Dart or Brandwen have to be in here. Otherwise, you don't play Mordred Phantom in the deck, and you won't be able to get Raging Foam Dragon if you don't play Brandwen. So that is all for the V collection card from this stream. We will make a ranking list for the 24 clans, if not 12 clans in every V collection set. So we'll be moving on to the Gravidia right line, which is actually one of the most interesting card in the stream recent. Alright, for the Gravidia card, obviously we're gonna start with the lowest grade in the right line, which is the grade 0, Gravidia Dellen. So Gravidia Dellen is basically just a starter. It is just another option of starter aside from Rubies and the Prison starter. Oh, sorry, Phoebe, the Wall starter, and the Prison starter. So that's your third option of a starter. You can play it in any deck, because so far there is no soul or right restriction for any of the 3 decks. Oh wait, I already spoiled it. So as I told you, there's no starter restriction for Gravidia. Honestly speaking, why I mentioned the starter, because it's revealed in the stream, and also it has a nice art. I mean, if I would play any of the Brandgate deck, I would play the starter. Yeah, I don't play any of the Brandgate deck actually. Then the great one, Gravidia Wells. Her ability is Auto Vanguard Circle. When placed on Vanguard Circle, you look at the top 7 cards from your deck and take 1 Meteorite card, reveal it, and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. Then her second ability, an active Soul Blast 1. If your Vanguard is Gravidia Nortlinger, cost Soul Blast 1, you put 2 Meteorite cards to your order zone and this card costs 2000. Alright, so obviously this card gonna play with the Meteorite card. So what is the Meteorite card? I'll tell you after this. Alright, before I move on to the grade 2 and the grade 3 Gravidia, I will talk about the Meteor card because it might confuse you guys if I did not talk about this. So this is one of the Meteorite card, if not the only Meteorite card, Neatness Meteor Shower. So the first ability, aside from the placing card, it has a continuous that allows you to have 16 of this card in your deck. Then the second ability, when this card is set to your order zone and you soul charge 1, but then if this card is placed to the order zone by your Vanguard's effect, you draw 1. So again, from there it's actually a order card, which what Vanguard does. Then the last ability, when this card is placed to drop zone from your order zone, choose one of your opponent's rear guard and retire it. Cool. So basically you stack a lot of Meteor cards in your order zone and somehow you remove all of them and kill all of your opponent's rear guard. That's what I thought when I first see it. Then you actually have a draw engine too from this Meteorite while having 16 cards of the same thing. Cool. The grade 2 Gravidia card, which is Gravidia Barringer. That's the English translation, but in Japanese it's Barringer. Okay, so the ability is on place on Vanguard circle or rearguard circle. If you have Meteorite cards in your order zone, Soul Blast 3 and this card, draw 1 and you gain 5000 power. That's a nice ability. Then the second ability, continuous rearguard circle. If your drop zone and your order zone has a total of 5 Meteorite cards, this card gain 5000. Alright, so when you place her, she gain 5000. Then if you have 5 Meteorite cards in drop zone or order zone, this card gain 5000. So it might be a 15k big stake or a 20k big stake, and you have a draw engine too in the deck. Cool, so you have 2 cards that draws. First is the Meteorite and the second card is the grade 2 itself, the Barringer. Wait, so since the Meteorite says it only draws if it's by Vanguard's effect, so it's most probably the grade 3 that does that, cause we will be moving on to the grade 3. Alright, the grade 3 card from the Gravidia right line is Gravidia Nortlinger. So her first ability is auto. When placed on Vanguard circle, search your deck for up to 2 Meteorite card and place it to order zone. Shuffle your deck. Then the second ability is auto. When this card attack, counter blast 1, put 1 or more Meteorite cards from your order zone to the drop zone. Then this card gains 15,000 at the end of battle. Then if you put 3 or more cards to the drop zone, by this effect, she gains crit. If you put 5 or more, you activate a trigger effect twice. Oh, cool. I have to say it's a cool effect. Like, yeah. Oh, okay. The second effect is quite OP, and the first effect is so good. It's because that you search for 2 Meteorite and place it on order zone. So you're activating the Meteorite to draw 2. You already have a good draw engine by having 1 grade 3 in your right deck. Then if you actually persona, you're actually going to draw 3. Wow, that's a huge bonus from the Meteorite card and the grade 3 itself. Not to mention that you thin the deck so hard with the deck. The second ability is actually what I kind of fear of, because among all of the stats that you need to boost in this deck is the most important stats in this game, luck. If you actually boost your luck stats in this game, you're gonna rip your opponent very hard. Not to mention that it gains a critical already. You could have one shot your opponent in one turn. So yeah, like let's say if you don't got the Vanguard, which already has a critical trigger, you activate the over trigger by draft check if you happen to. So you trigger it twice in the same time. So the first trigger, you already 2 times 2, 4. Then the second time you trigger it times another 2, which is 8. So what if you're not guarding the Vanguard and your opponent happens to draft check and over trigger with a Nortlinger? Well, you pray for more heals coming out. That's pretty much what you could do. So the only way for you to guard this card is either you guard at height number manually or you perfect guard. But then just be careful. Even though you perfect guard the Vanguard, if he or she happen to trigger one critical trigger, you're not safe at all. Not at all. So yeah, if the player happen to increase his luck stats in the game, cool, we're dead. And overall, in my opinion, so far, just judging from 4 cards, well, technically starter does not include it, yeah, 4 cards in the Gravidia right line, I can see that it has solid draw engine, it has good soul charge engine. It does not have counter charge, but for now it does not matter at all. You don't even need that much soul, so I'm not sure if you're actually playing Bubble Mine, cause you barely counter blast and you soul charge so hard already with the Meteorite. Not to mention that you can put the Meteorite almost every turn, especially when you flooded them in your hand. So it has a good draw engine, good soul charge engine. Then you have another pressure card, which is the Vanguard itself, for you to pressure your opponent for having only 3 attacks, but you could pressure your opponent with high number if you happen to draft check triggers. So far what the deck is lacking of is, one is luck because you only twin drive, and secondly, maybe defense, because imagine your hand is flooded with the Meteorite, especially when you play 16 of them. There's almost no way to recover, especially when you are having Bastion problem, having no shield in your hand. So that is one of the cons, but you know, once you reach grade 3, all those cons are nothing to them. For now, my speculation on the deck build of the right line, you're gonna play like 1 of the starter, 1 of the grade 1, maybe 4 of the grade 2, and 4 of the grade 3, and 16 Meteorites. That is for now from the current card reveal. So you're like having, let's do some small count. Right deck 4, okay, then you're playing 16 Meteorites, so you have 20 cards taken. Then you play 16 triggers, obviously you have 36 card slot taken. Then you play 3 copies of your Persona, right? That is 39 slots taken. So excluding the extra grade 2s, if you happen to play it, you only have like 21 slots left with the current set, unless they are decided to make another Meteorite, which is kind of too much if you're playing maximum of the new Meteorite card. So yeah, you have 21 slots left. So I wonder what is the revealed cards in the future. Like, we have less than 1 month left for Japanese version, so yeah, I'm kind of excited about this build, even though at the same time I don't like the fact that one trigger can just kill me in one turn. So yeah, I'm actually excited to see what this thing do aside from feel nuke. Alright, I forgot to mention that you actually feel nuke with the deck. Like, if you put 5 from order zone to drop zone, you just trigger the meteorite 5 times and you get kill your opponent's whole board except for Sado or cards that has his effect. As long as you don't overcommit against this card, I think you would be fine with the meteorite's ability. But about the trigger ability, I will not guarantee that you survive with, especially with the player have high luck. When I think of it, the meteorite, you might have 16 of them. Yes, sure. But maintaining Nortlinger's full power is quite hard in my opinion, because alright, let's do small counting. In turn 1, you search for the meteorite card and you put it to the order zone. During your grade 1, you add 1 meteorite card. At turn 2, you add another meteorite card manually. At turn 3, you add 2 meteorite card manually. And when using Nortlinger's ability, the grade 3, and you're gonna put 1 meteorite card manually. So there is a total of 5 in turn 3. That is without the extra meteorite addition aside from the right line. Then for turn 4, you need the grade 1 Gravidia. So like, if you use the grade 1 Gravidia card, you add 2 cards, then with the persona, right, you add 2 cards. Then during turn 4, you can put 1 card manually. So you really need those extra meteorite addition to the order zone. But for now, there's only the grade 1, so I can see it does not last that long if you really greedy on the 5 meteorites, unless they do add more engines to the meteorite addition. But for now, I think that is the con for the deck, because you don't have any more cards that added cards to the order zone aside from your manual card and the Gravidia grade 3 and the grade 1. So I think they will need more cards adding to the order zone, otherwise you won't last at turn 4 or turn 5. Turn 4 is basically your maximum, but turn 5 you really need more cards to add in order zone. So yeah, honestly speaking, it's when it comes to resource for order zone, it's quite balanced. But during the turn 3 and turn 4, the train drive is actually the most threatening part aside from the full field nuke. The trigger is actually one of the most annoying part against them. So yeah, overall for me it's good. Nice resourcing aside from the order zone part. Then cool trigger effect activation twice. So yeah, I think that's all I can think of for now. And again, next week they will reveal another card from the new set. We don't know which one is it, but I was hoping it's Greeded. Well, I'm still gonna talk if it's not Greeded. And then next week they have the stream where Dr. O versus with I forgot his name. So yeah, I will talk about the new cards next week too, and soon we will make ranking ranking list for the 24 clans in the V collection. So Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and see you on next video.